Good morning, everyone. We're super happy to be here today for this new webinar on the UK market. So I'm here with Jane today. Hi, welcome to the team. My name is Sarah. I'm partnership recruitment at Odoo, and Jane is...
I'm in the partner management team at Odoo.
So basically we're here to help you grow as a partner and be the best version of yourself. So what are we going to cover today? On today's agenda, we have what is Odoo, obviously, how to become an Odoo star, being the Odoo partner, obviously. We're going to tackle a few numbers of the UK market as well, and then we'll have a little Q&A at the end. So if you do have any questions during this presentation, feel free to write it in the chatter. We'll go through it at the end, and let's hope we can make the best out of it. So let's go with the first one. What is Odoo? For those of you that don't know about the platform, maybe you're living in a cave somewhere, we don't know yet. Odoo is basically something to help people do more in less time. So how do we make it happen? Because that's already a big deal. We basically have one app for every need. And the point is to replace most of the tech stack that we might have as a company. You know, most of the company, they have a lot of different apps to manage their business. Could be from anywhere from something to manage their accounting, to manage their CRM, to manage their website as well. So there is a lot of different stack there. And the point is to bring everything in one place. So the point is to simplify everything. So why do people love us, actually? And we have 4 different pillars. Well, I would name it the 4 pillars. The first one is, as I mentioned, all-in-one. So you have everything in one platform. So it really helps you understand everything. You only connect to one platform, and you don't have to really over-complexify stuff, basically. Second pillar is the scalability of Odoo. Scalability in different terms. Could be the hosting, could be the modules that you're using, could be the users that you'd like to add to the database as well. We're really flexible on that end, and we really want to help you grow as a company and help our partners grow their portfolio as well in terms of existing customers, of course. So the third pillar, fully integrated. So I've mentioned a lot of different apps here. The point of Odoo is that it's fully integrated. What do we mean by fully integrated? If you do something on the website, or you do something in the e-commerce, or you do it on the sales, everything will be seamlessly done within the database as well, which means you don't have to put your expenses in one place and then put it back in another app just because you don't have the information right away. Here, you only put it once in the database, and it's done, basically. So really easy, and this is one of our main focus as a company as well. And then the fourth pillar, and I think this has really changed with V17 and V18, is really the intuitivity of the platform. So you can really manage your business at the tip of your fingers, and it's super easy. I'm not sure some of you attended Odoo Experience, but basically you can do your whole inventory, your websites, just scan out the product, put it on the e-commerce, and then it's basically done. So it's super easy. And we as a company, we really want to focus on that one because, you know, you have your daily job. We want you to focus on what makes sense and what brings real value to the company as well. Not all of the admin stuff that takes a lot of time, you know. So those are the 4 pillars. How do we position ourselves? So we see Odoo as a mix of having all of the business scopes that are necessary to run your business, so all of the functionality that you will need, but we wanted to make it user-friendly. Remember, I was referring to intuitivity. We really want to make this happen. And hence why we're really different from other platforms as well, because it's as intuitive as Trello, because you can just drag and drop your different tasks from one stage to another, but you still have the extension and the flexibility and the functionalities that we have in other ERP platforms as well. All of those other platforms are really good as well, but you might want to have a look at Odoo because it actually makes a difference. So we've been working with a lot of different partners, a lot of different customers. We're super happy to count them in our adventure as well, because we know it will make a difference for them as a company. They're super happy. I used to be an account manager, and I know most of them, and I'm really super happy to see them grow as well, because Odoo actually made a difference. And I think this is the main reason for my job and my daily job. And it drives a lot of satisfaction for you as a partner, and for us as account manager, channel managers, and partner recruitment as well, of course. So what is Odoo? Odoo, I'm not a huge fan of presentations, but we have a few numbers, and the company has grown a lot in the past years. I've joined 4 years ago, 4 years ago, I think so. And it has expanded a lot. So we're nearly 5,000 employees now. We have above 12 million users. Can you imagine? It's just crazy. We now have 19 offices as well. We opened a lot in the past year as well. And our partnership network is growing as well. So we have about 8,000 partners. I hope some of you attending the webinar today are part of this existing ecosystem as well, but I'm counting on you who is not part of the ecosystem today to join the adventure, because it's a roller coaster, but you're going to enjoy it. And Odoo, since we have this whole ecosystem, this whole community, and this whole portfolio of customers as well, it helps us grow. On a yearly basis, we have a 40% growth. In terms of numbers, this is what it looks like. So it has grown a lot. As I mentioned, I joined 4 years ago. I can see the energy now in the Odoo ecosystem. I think Odoo Experience last time really showed what Odoo is capable of today, and I think it's really exciting for the years to come as well. So I think now is a good opportunity to tune in, to see what we do, to see how we do it, and probably work with us a bit, I would say.
Indeed.
So my point now is to focus, as I mentioned, on the UK, because that's what we're here today. And I'm going to leave the floor to Jin, because I think he's going to do it better than this.
So let's take a look at the UK market in general, and then let's look a little bit further into what Odoo has been doing there as well. So here's a little breakdown of what we see in terms of industries in the UK. You can see the UK is very much a services heavy market. For Odoo at the moment, we've been very strong in manufacturing and construction, but that kind of just highlights really how much room there is for growth. We've seen the services market be very strong in other countries and other markets for Odoo. However, it's not something that has been pushed as much in the UK yet. So there's a lot of room for expansion and capability in the software already to meet the needs of the services industry. Okay. Here we can see a breakdown of our partners within the UK. Right now, we are at 75 different partners, 1 being gold, 9 silver, 16 ready, with the rest being learning. A lot of those partners are currently on their way to upgrading as well. So a lot of those learning partners will soon be ready, and a lot of the ready will soon be silver. Just by looking at the map, you can see there are still a lot of gaps there. So hopefully some of you watching us today will be interested in joining, and we can start to fill up some more of those gaps within that map.
We need more official partners.
Indeed. Yeah. And now this is a really, really exciting graph to look at. So this is looking at the number of opportunities that are coming into Odoo year by year in the UK. So when we're breaking it down here, you can see just from last year to this year, we 5x'd. So it's a really, really good time to be joining up as a partner and trying to take advantage of some of these opportunities. Now, opportunities is one thing. However, what actually happens with those opportunities? What are we actually converting? And again, we're seeing a similar sort of trend here. Yearly growth. Again, this has been our best year in the UK, and we expect that to continue for many years to come. To give you a bit of an idea, globally, we're talking about around 8,000 new customers every single year. Okay.
So how do we make it happen? I'll take it.
There you go.
Basically, we, as I mentioned, and have you seen, we're currently expanding our partner network. So if we need more partners, we also need to explain how the partnership works at Odoo. So how do you become a successful partner of Odoo? First of all, I'd like to come back to how we work with partners. You can see it as a triangular relationship, in my opinion. On top, you have Odoo. Well, on the left, it doesn't really matter. We're not in a hierarchical position here. We have partners and we have customers. And the way we interact together is a bit peculiar. If you work in tech, it might be something that you're used to, but some of us are not. So what we do is basically provide the licenses to the customers. As a partner, you don't need to worry about anything accounting, because we will handle that admin part for you, basically. We can provide the hosting, so either on Odoo Server SaaS or PaaS, which is Odoo SH. It's a platform as a service where you can do the development, you can do the testing, and it's really automated as well, so it's easier. Now, there is another hosting option as well. I'll come back later on, because this is mainly directed to partners, basically. And what we also provide to customers is the standard upgrade. So whenever you're using a previous version of Odoo and you'd like to upgrade to V18 in this stage, you can actually upgrade for free. It's included in your contract. And the point is, we will upgrade anything standard. So if you do customizations, this is where the partner comes in, of course. We also provide support on the native code. So again, we're here to really support you on the platform, but sometimes you might need a little bit more magic going on in the database as well. And this is where our partners come in, actually. Because as a partner, what we can provide to those partners is basically the commercial support, Jane and myself. And we can actually provide the training and the certification. We'll go back to the training afterwards, because I think this is really a really important matter as an Odoo partner that you need to tackle as well. And then, of course, since we provide commercial support and we provide the licenses to the customers, we want to retribute our partners for all of the work they've been doing as well. So there is a commission-based work going on here as well. Now, what do you do as a partner for those customers? And why do we need you to be in the loop as well? Because basically, as a partner, you're the local presence for our customers, especially in the UK. We've been growing the team a lot recently. I think there is about 7 people now in the team, not counting direct. Oh,
yeah,
something
about
like
7,
this.
yeah.
So it's been growing a lot, and we're not always present in the UK, except for Jin, because he's the lucky one. He gets together quite often. But you're really there to, have that chat and have that coffee with the customers, which we cannot do because we're in Belgium and it's not always that easy. What you do as well as a partner is provide all of the implementation services. And this is very broad, actually. I'll come back to this again later on. It's in the presentation as well, because it's not only about the implementation, it's also about all of the customer journey, basically. And as I said before, you're also there to put a little bit more magic on the database of our customers. So if you need any customizations, development, integrations with existing platforms, this is also your role as a partner, because you're here to support and provide the additional functionalities that are required for our customers, simply like that. You're also responsible for all of that maintenance, since if you add additional code, we didn't code it, we don't know how it works. This is your role as a partner as well. So this is about the relationship and the dynamics that you might find using the Odoo platform and working with us as well, because we're here to support you and we're here to help you grow as a partner, basically. So what can you expect from us and partnering with us, and what are your actual roles as a partner? I've mentioned it before. The point is to focus on the implementation for Odoo for your customers, but this can be really, really broad, I would say. As you can see, we have a couple of different services that you can provide to your customers. And I think the main point here is to provide high-value services. Because if we can do it ourselves, then we don't need our partners. The point is we need our partners to provide additional value for those customers. And this additional value can be very broad. Can be the analysis, the audit, can be the configuration of the database, the customization, the development, also the deployments. If you want to host Odoo on a local server or another hosting provider, definitely doable. You're not limited to what Odoo can offer in terms of hosting. The point is we really have that flexibility. I've had a lot of partners having their own environment, having their on-premise installation or agreements with other hosting platforms. Definitely okay for us, and it can be an additional stream of revenue for you as a partner. So that could be an additional opportunities as well. Again, on all of those services, you're totally autonomous and independent. We can coach you. We can tell you, implementing accounting in 2 days, will it happen? I'm not sure.
Unlikely.
So you're totally free on that end, on how you'd like to define your hourly rate, for instance, and we don't take any commissions on your services. So as I mentioned, totally autonomous. As a partner, this is your main stream of revenue, of course. You get the commissions, but I see the commissions as the cherry on top, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good. So this is what you can actually tune in, and this is what you can actually focus on as a partner. Now, I've mentioned before, we also count on you to be the local presence. So apart from all of the additional value that you'll provide to your customers, there is a lot of value you can provide to Odoo, actually. And this is where we want to work together, because in terms of marketing, in terms of communication, we really want to help you grow, help us grow as well, because it's a virtual circle, in my opinion. So we can really work together to make it happen. But again, we'll refer later as to how we can help, how you can help us as well to raise the bar, I would say, in terms of what we currently do and what you currently do as a partner as well. So how do we make it happen? Okay. How do you become a successful partner?
So
What do you think?
another 4-step process, I would say here again, just to break it down and make it nice and easy. So our first step here, of course, is learning the product. As a partner, especially an implementation partner, you need to position yourself as an expert. So in order to do that, you really need to know the product inside and out. Having a full understanding of the software and the way it works is going to make it easier for you to explain it to your customers, and in return build trust with them, right? So there's a few different things you can do in terms of learning for the product. One is we have a program called the PLO, or the Project Leader Onboarding. This essentially puts your team through the same training that Odoo's own business analysts go through when they first join the company, giving you all of the functional expertise required to pass your certification and really be able to support your partners. Aside from that, we run regular training boot camps. We have the e-learning website, which you can visit at odoo.com/learn. We also, if you want to go a little bit further beyond that, once you've got your certification, we have smart classes where we have really advanced trainings. Let's say you're very heavily focused on manufacturing. You can take a manufacturing smart class or an accounting smart class as an example. And those are there to really go into those complex needs and help you have a really fine understanding of individual applications. On top of that, we also provide technical training where potentially you're looking at customizations or developments, and in order to really understand the source code and understand what you're doing in the back end, we can provide you with training in that regard as well.
And we're growing that one, so stay tuned.
Okay, so step 2, another recommendation we always like to make to our new partners is implementing the system within your own company, right? There's no better trial run than being able to do it yourself internally, right? If you're going to make a mistake or you're going to have any issues or run into issues, better to run into it internally than to run into it in your first project with your partner. So by running this program and implementing internally, you're going to go through all of the steps. Maybe you'll run into some pitfalls that you'll be able to avoid later on. And a really key thing here when we're talking about implementation is following the Odoo implementation methodology. One thing I always say to my new partners when I meet them, of course I want you to listen to everything I have to say, but if you're only going to listen to one thing ever, please follow that Odoo implementation methodology and you'll go a long way in that regard.
Brooks, you get a discount if you use it for your own company. So why not do it?
Just always super useful, right?
Indeed.
Okay. And so for step 3, finding your first leads. For us, again, this is something where generally with my partners, I tend to encourage them to go within their own network initially, right? So oftentimes new partners may be moving over from implementing other services or other products, in which case you already have a perfect customer set who may be able to transition to Odoo. So initially, if you can, try to leverage your internal network. From there, of course, you can build out and work with family and friends and connections of your network before you really start looking at how you're going to outbound market, whether it be doing things such as this, webinars yourself, positioning yourself as an expert, social media, developing your partner page, creating your own content as well. So there's a few different things that we can do to find your first leads, and people like myself and the other partner managers at Odoo will be able to help you and support you in that regard. And finally, step 4, when it comes to closing your first deal, this is something where when I meet partners, some partners have a very strong sales background and other partners do not. However, this is where people like myself fill the gaps for you, right? All of the partner managers at Odoo, especially in the UK, have a strong sales background. So we are there to support you as much or as little as you need. For myself, sometimes for partners, I'm taking discovery calls, I'm doing demonstrations if needed, and going all the way down to closing deals and negotiating. However, that's really where you need to find the balance between yourself and your partner manager. We are available to support you with the idea that long term you'll be taking over all of these processes and doing them yourselves, right? Even things like demoing and doing dry runs of that, you're able to do that with people like myself, where we can give you hints and tips before you actually go out and meet a customer. So please, 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 when you're working with your partner manager, take advantage of all of the resources you have available.
And talking about partner managers, the point here is to really ask for help whenever you need it. And there are actually 3 people you can ask help at Odoo for. First person is basically me. I'm smiley, I'm fun. I'm the partner recruiter. So if you want to talk about becoming an Odoo partner, you can reach out to me. My role is to basically explain everything that's included in the partnership, what are the options, think about the business model that we can create together as well. That might just be me, but that's it. And I can also challenge you on how to start the communication and the marketing process as well. So I'm really in the first step. And then afterwards, I introduce you to usually your partner manager and your account manager. Partner manager, I think Jen mentioned it brilliantly before. He's really there to help you expand your current activity as a partner, whether it's marketing, if it's just expansion on the market, knowledge on the market as well, because he's working with all of the UK partners and or colleagues as well, of course.
Of course.
The point is he has that knowledge. So if at some point you want to, brainstorm on a new idea or at least have additional information, if you need coaching, then he's really there to help you grow. And then we have the account manager, my previous job at Odoo. They're here to make sure that there is a whole long-term relationship with the customers and the partners, actually. Some of the partners in the audience might know about me. I'm visiting them. I'm still friends with them, actually. So it's really important for me and for all of the account managers out there to really think long-term. So how can we expand a current project? How can we build that relationship with the customer? How can we work together to make it a success in the long term, and how do we face as different projects as well? So it's a bit of a mix of project manager, but not really too deep into the functionalities either, and a salesperson as well. So again, reach out to us if you have questions, if you want to discuss a specific customer, specific project, or even a specific deal, because we might have, experiences from other projects we've been working on, and we know a lot of different projects, because as an account manager, usually we work with about 200 to 300 customers, and there is no point in reinventing the wheel sometimes. So reach out to us because it can actually make a huge difference. So, in terms of additional benefits and support, as I mentioned, my role is to explain what's actually included in the partnership, of course. So what's included? You have the access to the e-learning platform. You also have the visibility on the website. So if you want to be recognized as a partner, then indeed we will put you on the website as well. And the website is actually your own space. So you can share any of the customer success stories that you've been working on, share your skills, share your knowledge, share that you're the perfect rescue partners for projects that went aside. We're also here to support you in terms of marketing efforts, and this is something we've been working on a lot with partners in the UK in the past year. I think it made a whole difference, and this explains the numbers that we've seen. To be honest, it blew my mind, but it's impressive, the growth, and I'm super happy to see it and to see that those relationships with partners are really getting stronger and stronger. So back to the benefits, of course. We also provide you with an implementation methodology. So as Jean mentions, we want you to follow that implementation methodology, but getting inspiration from it, meaning there is always a bit of magic to add, as I mentioned, and the point is to keep it as simple and as standard as possible. But sometimes you need that little sparkle, You also have access to the source code, so if you want to build any developments, any integrations with Odoo, then it's definitely doable being a partner as well. And again, cherry on top, we have the commissions. You also have that flexibility for hosting, whether on our servers or your internal agreements with another platform. That's definitely doable. No pressure at all on that end. And we want to actually give you access to exclusive training as well. So we have different way of working at Odoo as well. We have different consultancy team. As a partner, you have access to a specific consultancy team. They have more experience. They're experienced with partners as well, which is quite important in that dynamics. And as a partner, you have access to them. So it's really, really beneficial. And as I mentioned, we're here to support you. So the point is to make sure that we meet you where you are where you need to be met, if you know what I mean. So again, talk with us, see how we can make it happen, and we'll for sure make it happen. So what's next? We have a couple of events coming in the UK, some organized by Odoo, some of them are not organized, but we're definitely present, so no worries about on that end. But the ones we'd like to invite you to is basically our business shows. We'll have one in London on the 19th, I think.
Yep, on the 19th.
And the other one is in Bristol, right?
Bristol on the 22nd.
Okay, are you attending any of those?
No, I'll be at the business show. Sorry, I'll be at the trade show right before, but I won't be at the business shows.
So talk about the Odoo show.
The Odoo business shows. So the Odoo business shows are a chance for people interested in Odoo to come and experience it live. So we do an interactive demo. When I say interactive, it's very interactive. There will be choices on the screen for participants to choose which direction we should go in terms of configuring an Odoo database. And based on the answers, we'll begin to configure. So not only do we start to show Odoo and the strengths of the software, but we also show the versatility and flexibility, as each demonstration on the fly can turn out in a different way depending on what the participants choose. Following on from that, of course, you have the chance, or the participants have the chance, to get some tips and tricks from our experts that are there at the show. And then from there, we have a Q&A session right towards the end. Following on, we'll go into a networking session where we can have some beers and we can interact with all of the participants and really dig deeper into why they came here and what potential needs they'll have in the future when it comes to Odoo.
There is free food as well. And
Oh yeah, not just beers, also food.
So what I offer to do now is to stick around for a little Q&A session. If anything pops your mind, feel free to put it in the chatter. We'll leave you with a bit of time to go through those questions, and then we'll be back to answer them. Okay, so we're back to the Q&A. I can see there's a lot of messages on the chatter, so happy to have you on our side today. Thank you for joining. We've had a lot of questions actually from before as well when I've had a chat with a lot of partners. I think we can go through a few of them. I think the one that first pops to my mind that's not in the chatter is basically how the marketing is evolving in the UK market at this stage. Because historically we were focusing on it, but not to the extent I would love to, to put it diplomatically. So in terms of evolution, we've changed a lot, meaning we went from, I think it was about 2 events a year to 7 or 11 events a year to this date. So it's quite impressive as well. We're sending a lot of people, a lot of efforts and resources to the UK to make it happen. We participate in different external events as well, such as the Great Business Show, actually. And then there is, of course, all of the Odoo Experience vibe going on, which is really, really strong. I think we're also working on our personal efforts in terms of online presence on an employee level, which can make a difference as well on that end. And then in terms of marketing, so historically, we didn't have that much billboards. We had them, but they were not always visible and not in all of the areas, I would say. This will change. They're currently working on adding a lot of billboards. Again, a lot. I hope you can see people everywhere in the next couple of months. Let us know if you see one of them. It's going to always make us smile if we see a billboard Odoo, especially it's not in our area. So on that end, we're growing. We want to focus on that type of content as well. And then growing those relationships with existing partners. There is a lot of work being done by our existing partners at this stage. I think it drives a lot the business. It drives a lot our online presence as well. So keep at it. If you need anything from us, we're super happy to help, either in terms of information, in terms of additional communication. If you want us to, brainstorm on the different format, let's say you build that super newsletter, you want to repurpose the content, super happy to do it. I'm here. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, on June as well. We're super available. So happy to help, of course. So yeah, in terms of marketing, it's evolving and it's a focus for us as well. And we really want to focus on that one. So yeah, if you think of something else, feel free to reach out. In terms of other questions, what do you have? In this recent direct sales in the partner network. Do you want to take one?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the next one. So one of the questions is, can you clarify your UK policy in the distribution of opportunities between direct sales and the partner network? So quite an interesting one that we have come up from partners quite regularly. So what I always try to tell all of the partners is it's not a competition here. The direct sales team versus the partners, which is sometimes what it's seen as, is absolutely not the case. Direct sales, they're very limited in what they can do for a customer in terms of the implementation compared to a partner. Right? What we see with direct sales is they tend to take some of those smaller leads with smaller businesses, and then anything that requires any sort of level of customization, integration with applications, or a larger implementation is usually handled by the partnership network. It's important to recognize that Odoo, internally, it's not beneficial for us to stop providing these implementation services. What we have here is by providing these implementation services internally too, we continue to learn from our customers. We can develop the product even better and make sure it's more geared towards what the customers and the partners need from the software itself. So if we were to completely cut off that services side, we wouldn't be able to grow as quickly or have as much learning as we do take. I think it's important, and I don't know the exact number, but I do remember Fabian talking about it before, where actually when it comes to implementations, Odoo Direct worldwide, we cover like less than 5% of the implementations worldwide. So it's really small compared to what the partners actually cover. So it's really not a competition in that regard. It's more a way to continue the growth and keep working together.
I think it's a very valid point. And the point is to, there is a saying you need to make the cake bigger. And I think we're fighting over little leftovers from the birthday cake from last week. And we need to work as a team. We need to focus on growing the market as a team, whether Odoo in itself or working with partners as well. And it's a virtual circle if we all go in the same direction. So if we all focus on growing the market, on getting new opportunities, getting new leads, then it's going to be beneficial for all of us, basically. So yeah, I think we really need to shift our focus here and really try to share as much knowledge as we can, basically. So this is a whole experience in itself, but we'll get through it. So yeah. Another question was about the certification cost. Can you maybe...
the Odoo certification. Yeah. So these certifications are priced at €220, I believe, for an attempt at the certification in the UK. For every single partner, we absolutely recommend it. Not only does it present yourselves, again, as we've spoken about earlier, as an expert, these are things that are also displayed on the partner page. So once you become a ready partner and we're displaying you on the Odoo website, you'll see that every partner has some badges on their page, and being able to say you're certified, for example, in version 16, 17 and 18 will put you in a better light when a customer sees your page, as opposed to not having any certification or just being certified in version 18, for example.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it drives a lot of reassurance for the customer as well, if you ask me, from the experience that I got, especially when you're working with people at Odoo that are certified and you're not certified as a partner. Sometimes there is this little delay between what the partner is saying, what the Odoo employee is saying. So again, let's go in the same direction here and try to work together on making this happen. To elaborate on the certification, because I'm not sure it's written in the questions, but basically it covers all of the Odoo modules. So it's not a silo version of every different module that you have to pass 15 times in order to be Odoo fully certified. No. Whenever you take the Odoo certification, it takes you through all of the modules. So from accounting, CRM, website, you name it. And once this is done and you reach 70%, you're set for life, basically, because your certification is valid for the upcoming 3 versions of Odoo. So, and to be honest, I got the certification on V15, 16, 17, and I didn't have to learn that much on V17, only the new features. And I think we're going to prepare the same way for V18, because I'm just going to check all of the release notes, all of the videos from Odoo Experience, and the knowledge is still there. And if you implemented projects before, there is no reason for you to fail the certification, basically. So that's my my inputs as a small. What else do we get?
I'll take one. So how do you see the growth across the UK market with partners compared to other regions? So really, we looked at those charts earlier in terms of the UK market growth. I think we're seeing a similar thing in terms of the partner growth as well. So we've seen that this year we've skyrocketed in terms of opportunities in the UK, and especially since the summer has been over, we're really starting to have an influx of new partners coming in at that learning stage, looking to progress. And compared to other regions with Odoo, maybe Sarah, you can answer that a bit better in terms of partner recruitment.
What new partners we have currently?
Compared to other regions.
Compared to other regions, I think this is a really interesting one. I think it's growing compared to what we had last year, because historically we had about 4 to 5 new partners per quarter, so that would be around 20 per year, and it has grown to 8 to 10 partners per quarter. So it went from 10, 20 partners per year to 30, 40 new partners per year, so it's growing a lot. But I think compared to other countries, we're not quite there yet. As you can see from other territories, just like Belgium, France, we have a lot of partners, and the size of the country is not that small, you know, whenever you look at the UK territory as well. So I think we still need to have more people by our side to implement those different projects, and
Indeed.
it's really needed because I think the local presence is super important, and being that local interlocutor for those customers will make a difference. You know, we're in Belgium, I speak French, Jeans. Well, you're lucky, okay. So sometimes there is a little, you know, mixed match between our conversations and our way you speak and the partners and the customers. So it's definitely needed. And I think it's growing, but nowhere what we currently target, I would say. So we need more of those people. I saw a note about the partner costs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed.
Becoming an Odoo partner. It would really depend on how you'd like to start as a partner, basically. There are different ways to start. Either you want to be, and you want to take the DIY approach, which means you can go at your own pace, and you have the learning partnership for this. The learning partnership starts at 590 euros per year. So it's a yearly license that you basically pay to Odoo in order to be recognized as a partner. And then the other approach is basically all in. So we're here to help. We're here to support you. We will recognize you on the website. We will give you that space that I referred to before. And this partnership is slightly different since we will allocate resources to you as a partner, of course. So it means the license is slightly different. The license for the official partnership is 2,950 euros per year. Again, if you want to have a chat about this, happy to help, because you need to also take into account different aspects, such as your partnership license, also your training. How do you want to get trained? What kind of support do you need from us? And how we can basically build that relationship in the long term. So I think if we only focus on the numbers, we're focusing on the wrong direction, sorry. You have to see the partnership as a full learning curve and a full strategy for the years to come as well. So it's really up to you and up to us to define something that works for you, basically.
Okay. Another question that I think is going to be more directed to you is, right, I'm currently in South Africa. However, most of my clients are based in the UK and Ireland. For this reason, I don't want to be a partner in South Africa. However, I'd rather be one in the UK and Ireland. Does my physical location matter when it comes to partnership regions?
It's a complex one. Again, we're flexible. So if you want to discuss a specific project or a specific way of organizing yourself with us, no issues at all. The point is you also need to make it feasible. So if you're working with a lot of UK customers, then it would make sense for you to have a UK team as well to work with. But in terms of boundaries, the partnership has no boundaries, meaning you could be located anywhere working with any customers out there. The point is you need to make a choice at some point. So you need to have a proper location, and you need to have a strategy that, you know, englobes all of this approach as well. Again, happy to have a chat, but remember there is no boundaries in terms of partnerships.
And is there
What
any
else?
more?
I like the 75 partners in the UK versus 8,000 globally. You get my point now.
There's a lot of room
more
for
of you
growth
guys.
there.
There is a lot of room, and there is a lot of opportunities as well, because we have a lot of customers in the UK. So we need more. We need more partners, basically, and this is where we want to make it available for us to chat. Okay.
Okay. I think there's one more maybe we can go to. What options are available for customizing Odoo to fit unique and multiple business processes? What type of support does Odoo provide post-implementation, and how accessible is it? Quite a long question, but in terms of the availability for customizing, of course, as a partner, you have access to the source code. For me, what I've generally had to say to partners is it's when you start selling Odoo, you'll tend to find that when you're talking to customers, it's actually very hard to say no because of the open source nature of the software. Most of the requests that your customers have are possible, whether it's through customization or standardly. It's more for you to gauge whether the customization is necessary, right? This is why we always encourage people to have that really strong functional knowledge, so you are aware of what's already capable, what the software is already capable of internally before you start looking at customizations. However, should you come into that situation where customization is necessary. As I said, you have the access to the source code. You also have Odoo support in terms of that technical training. The things that you will be responsible for is actually any code that you do write. Future maintenance of that is something that we will not be providing you with support on. That's where you're expected to take control. However, in terms of understanding and getting to that stage, all of the support is available, and you can speak to your partner manager to get access to that support.
Indeed, indeed. I think there is a lot of other questions out there, so feel free to reach out to us if you have other questions. Happy to tackle them together. We're, as I mentioned, really, really available. You can actually reach out to me or Jean. So I'd like to finish on a positive note. I'm just going to ask a question, and that question is, what are you waiting for? What are we waiting for? Thank you for your attending today. I had a great time. Thank you very much, Jean.
Thank you, Sarah.
I hope we can have other sessions as well. If you learned something from us, let us know. We'd be happy to share all of that knowledge with other people. If you couldn't attend, well, if you're looking this in replay, welcome aboard and happy to join the adventure. Thank you for your attention. You can reach out to me via LinkedIn or email. My email address is written there. Same for Jean.
Likewise, yep.
No preference at all. So thank you very much for your attention, and let's be in touch.